Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 14th April of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. Today we got two stories for you guys. First we're going to take at the newly announced SEGA Genesis Mini. And secondly we're going to take a look at what some of the Xbox executives said about the new God of War. But let's begin with the SEGA Genesis Mini, which, as the name suggests, is a new mini console that's trying to ride the nostalgia train, similarly to how the NES Classic and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic already took advantage of it. So first of all, we don't really know much. We just know that it's going to be coming pretty soon, that it's somewhat small, as we have seen an image, but we don't know anything about hardware. We don't know anything about the games that will be included in the package and whether it will be capable of running games saved from an SD card through emulation software or a different way. My personal guess is that the big titles like Sonic will be included. But who really knows in this day and age? It's a really hard thing to guess. What we know is that the Mega Drive Mini will be appearing in Japan later this year, and it will work with HD TVs. But we don't know whether it will be appearing throughout the rest of the world, or if we will just have to wait for scouts who have bought it in Japan and now are putting it exuberant prices on eBay. We don't know the price. We don't know anything, pretty much. Apart from that, I'm pretty sure it will sell well because the nostalgia train is going strong with people. And honestly, I don't really understand why at this point. If you want, you can just get an emulator. You can play your games on your phone. And I really think we slowly but surely need to get our heads out of the nostalgia hype train, because otherwise companies will just keep milking us for our hard-earned money through using things they have already developed and have been paid for many times over. Because seriously, developing a console that is just a mini version of an old console probably takes like an hour for a good engineer, and while a good engineer will probably get good money for his hour, it's nothing compared to the price we will be paying for this. And the manufacturing prices of this don't make me laugh. Those probably account to like 1% of the total price. The most expensive thing about these things is shipping, usually. And when you're shipping out millions of pieces, even that is not that expensive. Seriously, we as consumers need to say to companies, okay, nostalgia was nice. It's a good thing to have once in a while. But if you all try to milk us for nostalgia, we're just going to say no more. We want new stuff, because that is what I want to see. I want to see new consoles hit the market. I want to see new companies come onto the market of graphics cards and GPUs, because right now we're so close to living in a monopolistic market that it's not even funny. For sure it's a cartel, and that's just not good for the consumer. I think we can be even considered somewhat lucky that we have at least two companies competing on all of these sides of these battles, whether it's Intel and AMD on the CPU side of things, or Nvidia and AMD competing on the GPU side of things, and Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo competing on the console side of things. We just need more companies to come to the market and make a splash. Seriously, and we as consumers need to work towards that. So if you are a company who has a good idea on how to bring something new and incredible to the market. We need to work with you. And now you might be saying, but well, that's VR. No, VR has its own problems and it's not ready for mass market production yet. It's still the age of monitors, gamepads, keyboards, and mice. We need to acknowledge that for at least the next, I think, 5 to 10 years, this will still be the future of gaming. What happens then is anybody's guessing game. But until we get actually cheap and wireless VR, I don't think it will be a big hit. Okay, that's it about the Sega Genesis Mini, and it's time to take a look at what some of the Xbox executives say about the God of War. And you might be surprised, they're actually praising the game. For example, Phil Spencer from Microsoft says, "Congrats at Sony Santa Monica at YOSP on the review scores and the upcoming launch of God of War. Looks like a special launch for the franchise. Great job." And interestingly enough, Shuhei Yoshida, who is at YOSP, actually thanks Phil. And I think it's great that we can see that even though these corporations are obviously at competition with each other, that they can be civil. On the other hand, it also sort of suggests that they are some levels friends and thus cooperating, and that's not something companies should be really doing, especially in a market situation where there's really only 3 competitors on the market. But I'm actually glad it's happening. I think it is important for gamers at large, especially those who do want to go into the gaming industry as developers or graphic designers or even producers or whatever, to see that you can actually reach success and be a nice human being. Because very often when it comes to the way we are informed about business people, we just see these evil people who are there for the profit, and they will go over skulls of dead babies to get that profit. But that's just not really the case. Most of the time they're normal people like everyone else, and on average normal people are pretty decent, believe it or not. So it's just good to see that. And on the same line as Larry Rip, who's also known as Major Nelson, who said, "Congrats, looks like a winner." That's just more showcases of the fact that we can be nice to each other, and we should fully embrace being nice to each other within the gaming industry. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be mean to people who deserve to be mean, but if somebody doesn't deserve you being mean to them, then be nice, because that's what good people do. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing to the channel. If you are watching on Steam, maybe you do want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow is the day of the weekly podcast with me and Tygergamer. See you guys later with more gaming content.